First of all, I want to say to those parents, children and teachers who essentially are at the front line of COVID-19 that certainly the country is behind you, that you may be in individual isolation, but I think as far as we're here in this House, they're not isolated and they're certainly not forgotten. The word war that I use in regard to COVID-19 is not said to alarm, but rather it's used to demonstrate that in this containment phase, all of the resources of the state must be used and brought to bear to prevent wider community infection. A public health crisis like this requires straight and honest communications. It requires confidence in those at the top. It requires the resources to deal with it, resources beyond those needed in peacetime. I have not and I will not name the school at the centre of the first case reported by the HSE at the weekend, but many of the people concerned have been in contact with me and my colleagues. These people are at the front line of this war. We need to listen to them. We need to learn from their experience. And while at the same time we need to ensure that we do not stigmatise them or create wider panic. Now, I welcome the briefings from the Department which I received on Monday. I welcome the establishment of a Cabinet subcommittee and the Government's commitment to consult with all parties on this matter. However, I would ask the Minister also to take on board the concerns which I have received, or if that's not deemed appropriate by public health officials, to explain why. In the coming weeks, as more cases are heard, again and again these suggestions will be made to you, and it is best that we deal with them now. Many parents are concerned about the siblings of those students who have been asked to limit their social interaction. We need to better communicate the definition of a close contact and why that definition is so important. And I'd ask the Department of Education to play a stronger role with schools attended by those siblings. Families with members in isolation are telling me their other children are being stigmatised, and that will only lead to further misinformation. We need to do more to protect those siblings. Family members of those who are not displaying symptoms but who are in self-isolation are being told that they should go about their daily lives, but they're meeting resistance, often from their employers and also from concerned members of their own community. We need to support them with new legislation if that is required. Family members are also telling me that information from senior clinical experts is good, but the helpline is not meeting that same level. And I would urge the helpline to be open longer and to have that expert advice available. And also in regards to tests being outsourced, that results are made available more rapidly to those people who are experiencing symptoms. These people are under extreme stress, and anything we can do must be brought to bear. Social media is a challenge in a public health crisis, but I would say it's also a tool. It allows us to debunk myths and to listen to feedback. And I would urge the Government to use and harness social media where we can. But there's one aspect of our work, Cathaoirleach, that we do need to do. The HSE, no other agency can deliver, and that is our ability to form a government. And as this process evolves, as we have more and more cases, I believe the people will demand leadership from us on this issue. If we're in a war, we need a war cabinet, we need leadership, and we need to provide results.